We've come up for a little weekend getaway in Mui Ne. With its seaside resorts and sand dunes, it's a popular getaway for anyone living in Saigon. We're here to explore and see for ourselves if it's worth the hype. Check it out with us and see what we decide.
Well, good morning guys. It is 3:30 a.m.
We are waiting for our pickup for our tour today in our hotel lobby, and it is bright and early.
It certainly is a little too early for my liking. We've booked a sunrise sand dune tour, so we're waiting for our car.
It's actually like almost an hour to transfer to the place that the tour starts, and so that's why we have an uber early start this morning.
Yeah, so our accommodation is a little bit out of town, so we've got to get to the starting point first, hence an extra hour on our early morning day. Normally the tour would be 4:30, but 3:30 for us good guys.
Yep, so oh well, I'm sure it's going to be worth it.
All right, so our pickup arrived on time. Good job, driver. It's early. Right,
yes, Steph? I'm good. I'm glad that we didn't get up so early for nothing. Right on time, everything going smoothly.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so let's make the drive towards Mui Ne.
We just arrived and this pulled up straight away, so everything's going swimmingly.
Well, after about an hour in a taxi and 30 minutes in a Jeep, we've arrived at the starting point to visit the dunes.
Yeah, and convertibles and Jeeps always sound like a good idea in theory, and they are quite fun, but the hair factor is something to remember. So I am currently wearing Susan's hat, trying to keep my hair a little bit under control while we go in.
Oh, important.
Yeah. And we actually paid the horribly overpriced ATVs to bring us up here because we realized we were going to get this kind of sunrise. Look at that. I think that I am being rewarded for waking up early on my birthday because I haven't seen a sunrise like that in a long time. Indeed. And I'm very excited that at least we got this because that was a long ass ride.
It was a long ass car ride to get here,
yeah,
not ATV ride.
Not ATV ride. It was a very short ATV ride for 600,000 for the two of us to get on one ATV. The driver was on my lap and Susan was hanging on for dear life.
And here comes the sun.
So all that was prior to the sun actually popping up. And yeah, unfortunately there's a lot of ATVs and Jeeps coming out this way, so it kills the peace of a usual sunrise, but it's still beautiful.
It's still beautiful. Is it hyped or not? Just a little bit right now?
A little hyped, but I still think it's worth it.
It's worth it, yeah. I think if you did it during the week, it'd be better.
Exactly.
Because there'd be a lot less people here.
Yeah, and whenever I do my sum up, that's probably going to be my main takeaway from all this.
Beautiful. And it does turn into a bit of a circus. Photo shoots, dressed up.
Không có cao á, ghé thấp thôi. Rồi đúng rồi. Rồi 1, 2.
Tourism these days. But what can we say? We're here too. But it is all about the picture. These guys are a bit cowboy-like.
Ngồi lên nhưng mà hết yên rồi.
Well, that was quite a hairy ride down, wasn't it?
That did not feel safe. I'm very glad that we have good insurance.
That's right, we do have good insurance.
I feel like we should be dropping an ad right here.
Yeah, we should. Use our affiliate link to sign up to Safety Wing Nomad Travel Insurance. It's really worth it.
It's what covers everything.
It covers everything, including COVID.
And including places like Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yes, including Iraq and Afghanistan, Iran, places that no other insurance will cover. So if you're an adventure traveler, a digital nomad, jump on our link, Safety Wing, in the description below.
And that was just impromptu.
We've moved on from the white dunes, heading over to the red now.
Yes, we'd like to get in and out while they're still sandboarding down the dunes. And standing there in their white flowy dresses getting their Instagram photos.
That's right. We're on our way.
None of that for us.
No, we're on our way to the next destination. Driver here, doing well. In our little 1950s Land Rover. Alright guys, we've arrived here at the red sand dunes.
And I guess that what is interesting is that there are white sand dunes and red sand dunes so close together.
Yeah, it is rather interesting, isn't it? We'll have to do a little bit of research and drop in some information about the formation of the dunes and how they came to be.
Yeah, because of course we know that wind comes and it takes the sand and it moves it, but whenever the sand's different colors and different parts are kind of the same town, that's a little interesting to me.
Yeah, there are a lot of people here. So we got ahead of our white sand dune crowd, but obviously a lot of people just come to the red sand dunes.
Yeah, well this is right in town, so a lot of people just come here.
In general, white sand is formed from eroded coral reefs and red sand from rocks containing iron. The dunes themselves lie on the coastal side of a mountain range, which probably means the whole area was covered by the ocean millions of years ago.
Well guys, that's the red sand dunes. Awesome.
It's awesome. I would say though, there are a lot of families here, a lot of people sandboarding, a lot more kind of noise and activity, a bit of trash being left behind as well. So just keep that in mind. That said, I'd say that the white sand dunes are more spectacular, well worth going out to.
Yep.
But the location here is also spectacular, especially whenever you look around.
Yeah, we can see the ocean there and all the fishing boats. Looks amazing.
And it's also right near where a lot of people stay, which I suspect is why there are so many people here. They don't have to necessarily take a tour out.
Yeah, it's easy to come by yourself, and the kids are having some fun sandboarding. Good for kids. The dunes aren't really high enough to get up any speed, especially for adults, but quite nice. Nice family fun spot. So if you've got some kids and you want to get out of Saigon, you're an expat or even you're traveling with your kids, yeah, nice place to come. And you can even get a snack or something to drink here. Enterprising locals have set up. So still contemplating the hype value of Mui Ne. But yeah, for a day trip out of Saigon, it's looking on the positive side, isn't it, Steph?
Or should we say a weekend trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely weekend. Would not recommend it as a day trip.
No, not a day trip, that's right. I meant a one night trip at least. So yeah, let's head back to our Jeep and go to the fishing village.
And in many ways, this is what I'm most excited about, besides seeing sunrise somewhere scenic, is to go to the fishing village.
That's right. Let's do it. We've been dropped off on a dirt track. We're heading down towards the fishing village. We can see it ahead of us.
Yep. It's actually called Mui Ne Fishing Village, but it's about 7 kilometers away from Mui Ne town. So these round boats are really famous in Vietnam, and they're used from the southern coast clear up to Da Nang, and they're not sure 100% where they started, but there's an interesting story about the way they think they started, and it goes back to French colonial times. Now during that time, the French started taxing the Vietnamese fishing boats. So they had to pay this tax, so they decided to come up with some baskets, and those baskets also doubled as their boats. And because they could call them baskets and they just happened to float, the French couldn't tax them. And so they became really famous and everybody started using them. And if you look out over the water, they're still being used, and not just here for us to look at. They're still being used today.
Awesome story, eh?
Yeah.
Incredible. Crafty little buggers.
Exactly.
Good on them.
I like that.
Yeah, good on them. Yeah, very interesting boats. Very picturesque fishing village. Incredible.
And the thing to remember, this is a working fishing village because, you know, they're here. As soon as they bring in the fish, there's a woman buying them. There are locals walking and paying for fish as they come up. Like, it's a really fast-moving industry right here on the beach. And that means, you know, it's not going to be all pretty and picture perfect the way you might think on Instagram, but it's really interesting. And we rushed through the other things to get here, so there aren't a lot of tourists yet. The vibe might change a little bit in an hour or so when everyone else arrives.
kind of seafood there. Really quite indiscriminate. Very small crabs. Good, good. Yeah, very bad for the environment and for the future of our oceans. But, you know, until we address the population crisis, these people have got to be fed. Today we decided to come out with Johnny Tours for our sunrise tour to the sand dunes. It was quite good, wasn't it?
Yeah, they do a lot of tours around Mui Ne and tours from Ho Chi Minh City to Mui Ne. And I think that, yeah, we had good service. They were on time. The guy has always been there whenever we finished, bought us some water. It's all been good.
Yeah, so we can recommend Johnny Tours if you want to come up to Mui Ne and go check out the sand dunes and the fishing village.
So the half-day sunrise tour was $70 for the two of us for a private tour.
There's a lot of activity down here. Let's go and have a look what they're bringing in. Must be good. A lot of ladies with the cone hats. The sea is plentiful, there's no doubt. There's a lot of food here, and they're bringing in this kind of quantity, I guess, every day. Humans are so lucky to have the bountiful resources of this planet. I'll be happy when we start to appreciate it a little more. Alright guys, thanks for watching our little vlog here on Mui Ne. We've thoroughly enjoyed our time here. It's a great getaway, we think, don't we think?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a great getaway from Ho Chi Minh City. So if you're living in Ho Chi Minh, or if you've just got a day or two to spare, nick on up here to Mui Ne. It is a bit hyped, but it is also awesome. There was great scenery at the sand dunes. The coast is beautiful.
Yep, it's a little bit confronting here, as we said before, but it's also real life, and I think it's good to see that.
It is, and thank you. Please like, please subscribe. We love your support. We need your support.
So yes, don't forget about us. Hit that like and subscribe, as Susan said. We're Girls on the Loose.
We are. Bye-bye for now.
Catch you next time.